Who do we got? We got actually a big old comeback by no other than our boy Tasty. Yo, what's up, my dude? Looking good, looking healthy, looking... I was gonna say, do you look taller? But... dwarves. Am I right? Dwarves. Am I right? We got Tasty back in as Elemental Shaman. We also got Judo Master over here, Fortune. So double monk threat with ADDONS playing that Outlaw rogue. And we also got Candy over here. What's up, my dude? We got Team Alliance. Has a little bit of a good, healthy mix of players. Plus 2 monks. But I also got a team with Carry. Alliance versus Alliance, actually. We got Carry here on this Fury. Fluffy in the back is a Beast Mastery. Raven playing what I think is a subtle team. Remuro on that Fury as well. And we got ourselves... how did you say your name? I remember you. You were in our guilds before. D, letter J, letter A-I-N-Z-A. Janar? Yo, I'm gonna call you a couple different names left and right, but if you guys hear Janar, Jane something, the Russian Demon Hunter, the Russian boy, the Ruskies, it's gonna be that guy. Raven actually getting a decent opener onto Judo Master with a kidney shot, not popping in any big cooldowns. It's gonna be Alexi. Trinkets out of it a little bit late though, actually. Still locked out in Offensive Fury. Getting a couple of crystals back to Judo Master. That's gonna be Karma with Touch of Death. Raven is gonna cloak her shadows and vanish. He's gonna deny that Touch of Death. He's gonna deny the damage from that Karma. And Judo, as long as he doesn't have any dots, then Raven should be good to go. Actually, that was not a trinket out of Judo yet. So at least Judo has a way to deal with the Vendetta. Gonna be just up a little bit early for Raven as he got a mark for his wedding there. Wasn't trying to get himself a big old kidney shot going. Actually, that's gonna be big damage onto Judo, but he's actually turned this around onto Raven. Barely any health left, and down he goes to one of the images after using that Vendetta. Look at those skulls emanating from Judo Master. It was so unlucky, Raven. He shadow stepped maybe a little bit too early. Shadow stepped into a Fist of Fury, man. If he just waited with that a little bit longer, he could at least got behind it. Landed that kidney, at least force a trinket out of Judo. But then what's up is going to be Jainzar, the Demon Hunter. Jainzar, it's reading the Russian version and trying to translate it so hard, so I'll give you guys the American version, Jainzar. That's as close as I can get. Gonna be a Touch of Death onto Jainzar with Electric to fall. He's triggered it out of it immediately. He's gonna pop that blur into an imprison onto Judo, trying to suppress the amount of damage that Touch of Death is gonna do. Actually, Shadow melted it just to immune it completely. Well done. That's gonna be port for Judo as he's getting chased up by Jane. And Jainzar is going to be on the approach. Really good, really well done, Shadow Melt. I really got to give the credit there. Going to be a disarm a little bit early on Demon Hunter. He's going to bail out, double Crucible onto Judo into an I-Beam. It's actually going to get interrupted and rooted for a second. Fist of Fury escaping that immediately with the Metamorphosis to follow. This way, Jainzar has the opportunity to go ham bow, but that's going to be a Karma to stop him in his tracks for a second. Using the stun, not to lock down the monk, but rather to keep him away from the Karma. Trying to wait out. It looks like the Karma is going to be gone. He does lose access to one of his trades, though, from the Eternal Palace. So that's going to be a little bit of damage. It's going to be kind of split out of his damage for a little bit as he gains that shield. But he still might be able to come back. Demon Hunters are still usually pretty tanky, pretty strong for these duels. We have fire gun enough for Judo as he gets the support away, just trying to hide that Metamorphosis as best as possible. Between the stun, between Incap, Fist of Fury, as well as Disarm, he actually has quite a good setup. Unless Jainzar is going to be able to get himself quite a bit of damage to Judo, is going to get him down to half his health. Actually, doesn't have Karma for a while. Judo Master needs to be aware of his situation. It's not a good situation to be in. He doesn't have a single defensive. He does have wall coming up in about 5 seconds. Karma coming in about 37, and Jainzar is just trying to stay aggressive as best as possible. You're getting hit with a disarm, but he's nowhere near to be starting his damage. That's going to interrupt Judo Master on his cast. 27 seconds left from the Karma. If he can just commit enough damage, get a stun onto Judo, he's actually going to be able to get a stun. Tricky coming out of Judo. If he can wait and rush out the Karma, 18 seconds left. Judo just needs to survive until the Karma before he can go for the big damage. Try to go with the ring a little bit around the corner, and Jainzar is going to try to reposition himself. 10 seconds left on the Karma. Karma. Looks like Judo is going to be able to survive it long enough. Does get a pre-wall rolling here just to extend his life just a little bit longer. Jansar is going to have to play a lot more defensive right now. Judo is going to increase his health right now. With Touch of Death coming in, does Jansar have the Shadow Melt to deal with this? Drop it in Darkness, hoping Darkness doesn't check for him. Actually rushes out of the Darkness with his Shadow Melt. We'll have that Shadow Melt every time for that Touch of Death, but a Touch of Karma is going to be coming in. He's going to have to bail out of there. No Metamorphosis available unless he can get the I-beams up and running. He's going to use the Crucible onto Judo. I think he's maybe a little bit early too. So, well, no, it seems like the damage over time is doing quite a number on Judo. That's going to be Fist of Fury trying to log down, but the Russian Demon Hunter is going to bail out of there for just a second. Judo no longer with the Fist of Fury. He's still down on defenses right now. Jainza could turn this around. He does have Rain from above, so you could actually go for a little bit of a range damage setup right now. Judo is going to pour it out of there. Jainzar is on his trail ASAP. Is going to use yet another Crucible Ring. Is hopefully going to try to disconnect those two for a second. Vivifies are coming out for Judo, and Jainzar is having a little bit of trouble on the other side with this ring. Can he still take down Judo Master? Judo has nothing left except for Fist of Fury, maybe a disarm, maybe an incap. That's about all he's got. Jainzar looking still very healthy, trying to get himself more resources rolling with all that fury. Gonna be a dampen harm for Judo. Is that gonna be enough? Chickens out of it actually, or it gets out of the stun a little bit early. He's gonna get a leg sweep onto Jainzar, force the chicken out of him. I-beam coming out by the Demon Hunter. Incap comes in, and Judo is back up to the same situation. It's the deja vu situation. Just gotta last long enough for that Karma yet again. Is gonna pop a wall and try to see if he can bail away from Jainzar. Try not to get interrupted though. 13 seconds left on that Karma. Can he survive long enough? Maybe even turn the damage around onto Jainzar. Trying to see if he can use Port to leverage everything. He's got 5 seconds left on that Karma. If he's able to live for that Karma long enough, he might be good enough. Stun coming out right now to him. He does have Karma. Trying to spam it right now. That Karma is going to be instantaneous. Actually decide not even to Karma. Immediately that's going to be Karma into that I-beam. And Judo could go just finish off the Demon Hunter if he could give it another go. Jainzar is trying to do everything he can not to hit into that Karma. Tried to send a couple fell lances at Judo. Radis tries to escape. And that's going to be 5 minutes in. 4% dampening, rolling into 5, and Jainzar and Judo have been going at it for quite a while now. Jainzar is super low in health. Does Judo have a trinket? Jainzar, he will actually go down if he cannot land a stun, I-beam, and recover some health onto Judo. Needs to use Crucible defensively as best as possible. Incap comes in, leg sweep to follow. Does he have a trinket for it? I think Judo might just have it here. And Judo does take him out with a blackout kick as the very last global. Carry is going to be up next, having to deal with Judo Master. Fury Warrior versus Monks. That's going to be just the worst setup. If he can get through Judo, he might stand a chance against Fortune right after. Gonna be doing someone to carry immediately. What a weird charge. He just zigzagged back and forth for Judo. What a pathing. I like that though. It looks kind of cool. Big leap. Doesn't get to meet up with Judo. And Judo's actually gonna bail out of there. Spam those Vivifies as much as he can. I think Carry is playing Stormbolt though. Otherwise, I think we would have seen Carry get a charge in a couple times here and there. Gonna be Fist of Fury. Carry's gonna get a Stormbolt. We do know he's running Stormbolt. This way, Carry's gonna go, ooh, unleashing huge damage right now without even cooldowns rolling. Got himself a pretty big rampage pretty early on with a Blaze to follow. Big charge onto Judo. Try to see if he can get an interrupt. Gonna be a Touch of Death onto Carry with a Fear onto Judo. He drink inside of it immediately. Carry needs to get a slower too. Disarm onto Judo Master. At least he's not gonna lock him down in the Fist of Fury. Gonna be Entourage Trinket to leverage Carry for a little bit here. Does Trinket out of that leg sweep immediately. Fist of Fury coming out right now. Is gonna be able to use Bloodthirst to at least get himself movement reduction removal. So Fist of Fury locks you down and you're unable to move anywhere because you're super slowed, but Bloodthirst will remove it completely. So you can Bloodthirst the enemy even if he gets parried. Bloodthirst will still remove any slow. So if you get Fist of Fury by a monk as a Fury Warrior, face him, Bloodthirst, you'll get parried and walk in the other direction. You'll walk out of Fist of Fury every single time unless the monk is already walking in that same direction. So most monks, they're hoping that they can lock it down for a little bit. You can hit it with a slow, Bloodthirst, walk out of it. So that could help him out. It's going to be Karma available not for a minute for Judo. He's going to get himself dampened harm right now. It's going to reduce a portion of the damage. It's not a consistent defensive, but it's decent. Going to be a Stormbolt onto that Fist of Fury. Does Carry get himself a big rampage here. Getting hit with the disarm immediately. Needs to get himself huge rampage and some big effective damage onto Judo. That's what he needs to be doing every time he wants to win these. But that's going to be actually a full root onto Carry as Judo just escapes. Trying to buy himself 30 seconds if he can for that next Karma. 8 minutes in, however, 20% dampening. Those heals are going to become more or less obsolete after a while. Got his images up and running a little bit early. Carry backed out of it. Good thing he was mounted. Judo was hoping to maybe get some big damage out. He's going to at least get a full Vivifies to get some calm points of or chi off of him if anything. but at least Carry's gonna be able to wait out for those cooldowns. Gonna be a trinket for Judo Master. In cap until Carry, he does Zerker Rage out of it, and Judo Master trying to roll away, is gonna get himself a small heal, trying to go for a port, I think, or maybe trying to see if he can get a boop off of Carry. He does land it. Gonna be a leap for Carry back onto the bridge. Judo gonna disarm him. Carry needs to get himself a good setup right now. This way actually gonna be a disarmament of Judo, so he doesn't get hit with the Fist of Fury, so he's actually able to go into full rampage. Karma coming out is gonna have to get away from it as ASAP. Recklessness is up for Carry. Needs to make the most off of that damage. Looking to maybe engage with Judo Master right after that. Karma is down. Strongbolt onto Judo Master. Does he have a big rampage? He does have huge rampage. Huge damage to unload onto Judo. Immediately touches that's coming out onto Carry. Judo Master is hoping to maybe go for a wall, hoping to maybe get a big old one shot onto Carry. Carry is gonna increase his own health right now with Rallying Cry. And Judo played very, very aggressively there. That is a wall not used for defensive. I mean, some uses, but it's to increase his health pool. So that Touch of Death, because it's based off of the Monk's health pool, the base damage. He was hoping to get a big old all-in onto Carry, but I fear it does stop him. Trinket early for Carry. Right as he gets hit with a leg sweep, though. So that's very unfortunate. Carry landing a Stormbolt on Judo. Does he get a big setup right now? Huge. That's going to be his Enrage Regeneration coming out. Pretty high on dampening though. 9 minutes in. 29 minutes. Judo Master is rolling up to Carry. This is Carry's opportunity here to come back. No Karma for 30 seconds. Can he take down Judo Master in those 30 seconds? Going to be dampened harm for Judo Master to last those 30 seconds with a Tiger's Loss right now. Ring a piece to boop Carry away. Doesn't get a leap, but a Dragon Kick is going to separate these two for a second. Vivifies are coming out for Judo. Back to back, but he still doesn't have the big defensive. Needs to get himself a port setup or something ahead of time. Trying to run and do what he can. Gonna be a mount out for Carry. Zerker raging out of that one. Gonna be a port. Waiting for the Zerker rage to dismount Carry for a second before he lands the port. 3 seconds left for the Karma. Perfect opportunity for Judo to come back. He just tried to avoid Carry as best as possible, and Carry to this point just do a little bit of a dance. Stormbolt coming out onto Judo. He does pre-Karma it very, very early. Gonna be a charge back to Judo. Fist of Furies are coming out. He's gonna land a slow onto Judo. Leg sweep onto Carry. He's still doing just fine. Judo does not have the damage to follow up here. Could be getting a touch of that sometime soon, though. That's going to be a Dragon Kick to separate these two. 10 minutes in, and Judo so far is having a hard time breaking into Carry right now, into the tough exterior that is the Warrior. But Carry, he so far has damage, he has the defensives, he has everything he needs. He just cannot quite catch up to Judo Master at the time. Look at that root, and it's going to port that way and get himself a couple of Vivifies. So hard to catch up to. Does land a Fear before that happens. Into Reckless is going to be a wall for Judo Master. Bladestorm coming out for Carry in case it was going to be Fist of Fury or maybe a Disarm. Disarm onto Judo Master right now. Carry is hit with a Touch of Death right now. That's going to be huge damage. Judo is trying to min-max it. Barely any health left for Carry. Doesn't even get a Bloodthirst in right now. And Judo Master does take him out. Reverse it around onto the Warrior with a big old Touch of Death, and Carry is basically dead meat. Who is up next? It looks like it's going to be Judo Master versus either Rimuru, and it looks like it's going to be Rimuru. And that is Fluffy. Has this really been 3 people by Judo Master alone? Yo, Judo, dude, I feel like Judo, he's doing good. Cannot get taken away from him. I feel like he's struggling a little bit on damage sometimes. Like, it's really hard to lock someone down. But that was so well played against Carry. It feels like Carry's the one that has to jump hoops, but it looks like Judo even had to jump hoops just to keep ahead of Carry the whole time. Let's see if Rimuru has an easier time with this, though. Also playing Fury Warrior, got his Lumberjack Transmog. So if you're wearing your Lumberjack Transmog, you have to chop this monk up, right? You have to chop him up like a tree. I mean, it's not a Rested Druid, but this still should be just as effective. Gonna be Fist of Fury, locking down Rimuru. He doesn't have anything left to follow up that Fist of Fury with a Disarm, though. That is just aggressive. And Rimuru catch himself at a below 50% health. Karma coming out super early for Judo. He's just hoping Rimuru just nails himself with that Karma, just trails it down. Rimuru trying to bail away. He's gonna get a charge. Does he get Enrage Regeneration going? He does get it going a little bit late. Incap on him. Isn't gonna Zerker Rage. Zerker Raging though very late, and Judo is just way out of there. Not even letting Rimuru grab himself a single heal. Guardian of Azeroth is up for the Warrior, getting himself a commanding shot rolling, but is that gonna be enough? Jumping off the platform. I don't think that's what he meant to do. And the Guardian's there, but he's just kind of staring at Judo. Now he's going doing damage. Now he's spiking Judo. That's going to be fewer to separate these two. Going to be charged by Rimuru, but he doesn't have a lot of health left. Going to be early trinket by Judo. And even though he's disarmed, he can't disarm the legs, though. You can disarm the arms, but not disarm the legs. He stopped the Fist of Fury, but you won't stop the rest of the damage. So disarm shouldn't be there just to stop the damage. Just be like, halt. You can't hit me anymore. No. You have to use it for Fist of Fury in particular. Going to be Fluffy. Does he He didn't trinket that in-cap, did he? Haymaker coming out of Judo. He actually positioned himself behind the wall right now, so he didn't go flying off in the other direction. Second stun coming out. It is going to be DR for him. And Fluffy's getting quite a bit of damage onto Judo. Does also have the Guardian of Azeroth, Touch of Death coming in onto the Hunter. But he cannot get caught up to... Judo's having such a hard time catching up to Fluffy. I didn't get to mention this for a second, but as he was going up the ramp with the tar trap hitting him, Fist of Fury was up, but didn't quite chase. And now Fluffy is the one with cooldowns rolling. But as long as the pet doesn't have line of sight, he can't really get those big kill commands in it. He can't get the pet frenzied up. So all he can really do is now just buy himself a little bit of time, get himself a heal, needs to stop the healing from Judo, as he's going to Dragon Kick to close the gap with Fluffy. Lexi, that's not going to be maybe a chicken. This is going to be a chicken a little bit late with the Karma to follow from Fluffy. Is he going to continue doing damage right now? This is where Karma needs to stop doing damage. He's just backpedaling. Turtle Shell coming out as the last ditch effort. This man needs to stop backpedaling. That's not how you get... If you're trying to just back away from an enemy and trying to gain some distance, you don't want to backpedal. That is a terrible move. That's going to be a survival of the fittest, but if this man fit... Not by his BMI, gonna be a disarm onto Fluffy. He does get a kill commands back-to-back stun into Judo. The chicken side of it, and Fluffy does get taken out by Judo. That's a big old 1v5 by this monk. And you know what? It felt like the monk was struggling a little bit here and there. That healing by monks are just insane, dude. That healing is just so insane. But you know what? I feel like he earned it. I know. We got a lot of monks 1v5ing everybody on the channel. But it felt like that guy really deserved it, you know? It felt like he was struggling. It felt like it was his fight to lose. He didn't want to lose.